Hello, welcome to episode 31 of the podcast. It is Clark here with Phil.
Hello.
So this week we're going to be talking about something that everyone's experienced at some point or another. It's stress. So basically we're going to start off, we're going to tell you what stress is, what causes it, and we're going to look at some pretty scary statistics.
Very.
Yeah, and then we're just going to look at some other causes, things that got there, and then finally we'll just look at ways to alleviate stress, because everyone needs to do that at some point.
Everybody.
So yeah, enjoy.
Woo!
Alright, good.
Yeah, I'm fine.
That's okay. Not stressed.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
We're gonna be looking at stress this week.
Stress. Oh, it's a lovely wee thing to have, isn't it?
No, but I suppose we'll just start where
Is it to have or to be? To be
both.
stressed?
Both.
To have stress?
Yeah,
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
I suppose
I have stress.
we'll delve into this. It's all gonna be in it. It's all gonna be here.
I have the stress.
Do you know what causes stress?
As in like stuff, or as in like the actual
As in,
stress?
okay, that's a good question. We're gonna get into both. But, initially, physically, biologically, what causes
happens?
stress? Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Sometimes my leg kicks out.
No,
That's twitches just.
I'll so basically stress is
Enlightenment.
caused by a thing called cortisol,
Right.
right? That's a hormone produced in the body, and this is a word we struggled with so hard. The zona fasciculata. Is that
Yep,
close?
that's completely right.
Yeah, well that's what we're
Completely
gonna call it.
right.
So the zona fasciculata,
Fasciculata.
is that it?
Fasciculata.
Nice. Okay, so the zona fasciculata, it's in the adrenal cortex within the adrenal gland.
Yeah.
So basically, within your body, this hormone is released.
Instead of adrenaline, it's not.
It's not. It's
Okay.
cortisol.
Okay.
Essentially, it is released in response to stress, and also potentially if you have low blood glucose concentration. So it's like a diabetes thing.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens with it is this is released and it increases blood sugar through a thing called gluconeogenesis. It's a great word.
It is. It's class.
Isn't it?
It just reminds me of Jurassic Park for some reason. I don't know why.
It's a gluconeogenesis, run!
It's a pre-made dinosaur that just
Clever
shoots
girl.
glucose at you. You get a glucose. And you...
It's Oprah. But
Oprah source.
but basically that's how it produces it through gluconeogenesis. It suppresses the immune system,
Right.
aids the metabolism of fat,
Metabolism.
protein and carbohydrates. But basically, essentially that is what it does. And then if there's too much of it, if it happens too often, due to all those, it can actually cause you to be very fatigued.
Well, that makes sense, really. But
Which is why whenever some people are like, "Oh, I'm just so stressed, I'm really tired,"
yeah.
it makes sense. So whenever you put it all together, obviously those are in very high level terms. Like those
Yeah.
are just literally, this is the surface of it. I'm sure there's so much more.
Yeah.
If you want to read into it, feel free. But this isn't a science podcast. Sorry. So
we're not gonna bore you with all the details
yeah,
and stuff.
pretty much. But everyone in the world, I'd say, has felt stressed at some point
In their lives.
in their lives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
at
I
some
would say.
point. I mean, I'm pretty sure whenever the second you're born, you're like, "Oh, what?" You know, you're like
What is
stressed.
this?
You're like stressed instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're born stressed, and
Well, that's the thing, because
That's
it's technically it's like unconscious sort of stress as
Yeah.
well. 'Cause
yeah.
you don't know what
if you
stress
conscious-
is whenever you're born.
No, that's true. That's true. Just at some point, I don't remember the first time ever, but I remember
Oh, I do.
like at some point you go, "Oh, I'm really stressed." I don't remember when that happened.
Nursery.
Why?
Something new, completely new, going to a different place. Not knowing what's going to
I don't
happen.
remember that. Like being stressed.
Well,
I
I remember being in distress. Going in, I was like, "What is this?" My teacher, hello. No idea who
You're
that
not
is.
my mom.
No idea who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And then, like throughout the day, you're like being given these tasks, like make a sandcastle.
No.
Why would I want to do that? Go and play with Billy? No. Why would I want? This is stressing me out, woman.
Yeah, that's a fair point, but I don't remember it. I don't know at what point I realised, oh my word, I'm stressed. Like as an adult, yes, daily probably,
Yeah.
almost, except for probably the weekends. But
Well, it's 'cause
certainly
you're looking
in work.
for the weekend to give you any sort of stress and.
Yeah, but the
Stressful
thing is,
times.
it's not even like my job's particularly stressful in terms of if you compare it to like a nurse.
Yeah.
You know, like part of what I was looking into, there was an NHS survey
Yeah.
from March this year. So it was sent to 1.1 million employees
Oh my word.
within the NHS. 487,000 responded. Right, so this is fairly comprehensive. Probably the most comprehensive survey we've ever discussed.
My word.
Because that is so many respondents.
It is, but not compared to them what you actually given it to.
Yeah, but they're really busy, aren't they? So
No.
yeah,
No.
you'll find out they are.
Yeah, they really
So basically, from those four, like say, we'll just say 500,000, 487,000, but 500,000 just for easy speaking, basically. So the number that said they suffered from work-related stress is 38.4% of that number. It's quite high.
Yeah.
That's actually up from the 2016 survey. It was 36.7, so it's a 1.7% increase, which is several thousand people.
But then
Yeah.
that's like 60. Well, how much did you say it was it?
38.4 now, 36.7 in 2016. So it has went up.
But then that's the other percentage just isn't stressed at work.
They basically say they haven't felt physically unwell over the last year, whereas 38.4 say they have felt physically unwell.
But then that could be because you're working as a nurse and you're getting sick because people are being sick around you.
No, it's physically unwell due to stress, not because you're sick. Like, it's because you feel stressed.
Maybe you're stressed
unwell.
because of your because of your sickness.
It's a circle. But
Well,
that's not what they're saying. So
Who knows?
they say
They
that.
could have been stressed whenever it could be a stressful survey.
Well, the thing that's actually sort of scary about the survey is that 29% of respondents reported having witnessed potentially harmful errors, near misses, or incidents within the last month
In the workplace.
in work.
So like
NHS staff, doctors,
like,
nurses.
accidentally like slice
Like,
someone's
say-
artery and
Well, it doesn't specify. It just says potentially
Oh, I can believe
harmful
that.
errors,
I can
like
believe
maybe
that.
giving somebody too much stuff, or
yeah.
you know whatever. But
Well, people can like it depends because you can work in like care homes as well. You
Yeah.
can work in other places as a nurse and you can still give too much or give too little or not
Yeah.
give the right thing out.
and obviously stress won't help. But
No,
And-
but then again, sleeping. You know, like stress is hard. Obviously, that's going to be a big factor in how you perform at work. But obviously, getting more sleep is just gonna. You would think would
You
get
would.
rid of that.
But that's where the rest of the survey comes in. That 58% of the respondents, which is 250,000 people,
Yeah.
work on paid extra hours in the NHS.
So they don't get any sleep then.
No,
Because they're working
no
too
money at all. They're working too much. 29%, as I mentioned, have witnessed problems. 15% of that have experienced physically violent patients, relatives, or the public. So that's
Yeah.
70,000 people roughly.
Yeah.
28% experienced harassment, bullying, or abuse. And
What from their patients and stuff?
yeah, so
That's
28%.
bad.
31% say they were not pleased with how much they were paid as well.
But then again, is anybody really ever pleased with how much they're paid?
If I was a millionaire, yes. I think so. But the
Well,
fact that they're
Okay, in
then...
working class then.
Yeah, I know people that are happy with what they're on. Yeah.
Happy?
hmm
Or just content?
Like, they don't need to worry. Like, they've got all their bills paid and they don't need to worry about
Yeah.
any more money. But then, like, we'll come to it later, but one of the main causes of stress is money.
Yeah.
So it all links sort of together. And this is officially, by the way, the largest workforce survey in the world.
Yeah, well, I suppose it would,
So,
that would make sense. Like,
Basically, I just find that quite interesting. I was saying, I obviously feel it on a daily basis, but it is literally, certainly for me, it's workload and time. It's impossible. It's not
Yeah.
doable some days in work.
yeah.
And then you get stressed, and then eventually it hits a point at around 4 o'clock where I look and I see, oh, okay, I've still got like 3 hours of work to do. But that's not possible before 5,
Yeah.
and then you just have to put it off to the next day, and then so on and so
So it
forth.
just builds up.
And it's sort of like thought I'd focus on work first because I find it relatable and interesting. But like basically, there was another survey I found that said in the UK in 2016-17, so just about a year out of date, say, 526,000 workers suffering in the UK from work-related stress, depression, or anxiety. Were often long-term sick.
Yeah.
So it's quite a lot. And 12.5 million working days were lost due to work-related stress in 2016-2017.
It's weird whenever you say that because I can imagine people of like say, like our grandparents' generation would be like, wise up. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Because like back in the day, I would say their jobs would be a lot more stressful.
Well,
There's no well, there would be because don't forget they had to like pave the way for the rest of the technology to become available. Like they had to like literally
we're
build.
doing that now.
What do you
Still,
mean?
we're just doing that for the next generation.
Yeah, but we're not as hands on compared to the majority of that.
That's because we figured out how to fix it. By the way, 12.5 million days is 34,000 years of work. Just to put that into perspective.
It's a lot.
Yeah, 34,000 years. But like the causes, unfortunately, this bit wasn't as up to date. It was 2011, 2012.
Oh my word!
Yeah, I couldn't find anything newer, but we'll read it out anyway.
It probably has gone up significantly as well.
I can imagine this probably has changed
Yeah.
because it says that basically the causes, funny, sort of links in with what I just said. Workload, 44%. Lack of support from like peers, colleagues, bosses, 14%. Violence, threats, bullying goes with the NHS one, 13%. General changes in, you know, their job or their workplace or whatever, 8%. And then just general other things, 21%.
I think that's mad. They're still bullying. Like I wouldn't say you can understand it at school because you know it shouldn't happen in school.
Yeah.
But it is more sort of like thought of because that's what happened. People are growing up and they're just trying to get in with like the new kids or trying to bully the new kids or whatever it is. But being bullied and stuff like. Because sometimes people do get like sort of treated differently in workplace, and it's just kind of strange that adults of that nature could be like, "Yeah, I'm still a bully at like 35 years old."
It's happened before, and it was.
I just think it's stupid.
The place I worked before, there was a manager. Well, I'll say he was a manager. He was the most senior person
Staff.
there.
Yeah.
And he'd been pulled up for bullying more than once, and there was 4 of us.
He bullied people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just because he was a senior member of staff.
Yeah, and the other person was like 20. He was like 35, and he just really made him feel like shit all the time. Really put him down all the time. You know, he would leave me out of stuff and all. You know, and like, if he
What
was.
would he gain from that?
It made himself feel good. I have no idea.
Because he can boss people
No
about.
idea. I've no idea. I just personally don't understand that management style. I've got a completely different one. I just don't get it.
No,
But,
100%. I
you
don't
know,
think anybody would. Well,
basically, he's just a really nasty piece of work, and it's just the way he was. But,
that's just stupid. Like I mean,
yeah, I just think it's an ego thing. Personally, it's like I'm better than you, and I'm gonna make you know I'm better than you by making you feel like crap. But I mean,
which is sort of reverse psychology because you're already better than that person already.
yeah, like well, you're above them in rank. You're certainly not better than him. You know, if he's gonna get on like that, he's certainly not a better person.
No,
But
definitely not.
but no, that is a legit thing that happens. I'd say probably more often than you think. It's
Oh no, I would,
crazy,
yeah,
like-
I just don't see the point in it.
No,
I
it
just
was
think
horrible.
I think it's crazy that people of that age can still bully people.
but
And
I personally don't understand bullying. Full stop. I hate it.
No, neither do I. I just think
Passion.
it's stupid, but I would say it would be, you would think more of it because of school, because it's people
Yeah.
grew up together and, it is a
Yeah,
different
trying to
environment.
be the alpha
Exactly.
sort of thing.
Then
Yeah.
again, I suppose it's the same thing in workplace as well.
Well, that's
I
it.
just think by the time you've reached 35, you're a bit more mature.
You think?
You'd think that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's possible to actually bully people after like 12 years old or something, but
Well, yeah. I mean, well, exactly, and I think as well, like, these statistics as we go through, they're just going to show like stress is enough. We don't need other people adding to it.
yeah,
You know.
exactly. Well, you just said 44% there, which is workload alone.
Yeah,
And
workload.
then
alone.
13% was it of bullying? 13% was it bullying?
Bullying was 13.
13%. So you add that on top, and then whatever
57, and then if you include lack of support, which you probably be getting from your manager,
else. I would agree.
that was
Yeah.
another 14. So you're up to 61. You know,
the majority there then.
The
basically.
vast majority. So, but you know, this the scary thing is that like, it obviously, you know, we were just talking about bullying and that not helping and adding to stress and blah blah blah. Well, there's another like there's so many statistics in this, like it's hard to cut them all down, but 54% of people who are stressed then worry about the effect it's having on their health. So they're
Makes
worried
them worry about more
about
things.
stress
Yeah.
that's already affecting their health, which is affecting their, you know, it's one of these things.
We just said earlier on, it's like it's a circle.
Yeah.
It is a vicious circle that just
Yeah,
continues and continues. It's just
it's horrible. Like, I don't know. Like, I completely understand whenever you start reading into this why. Like, but it's crazy that it happens. You know,
Yeah.
like, for example, over I think it was one maybe I mentioned earlier. Almost a third of British residents feel stressed for at least one full day a week. So 24 hours within 7 days,
yeah.
you feel stressed. Now, let's use some numbers. If you were to break down a 24-hour day over 7 days, so
Yeah.
if you were to say it was exactly the same thing over 7 days, you're asleep for a third of that, so you can instantly take away 8 hours,
Yeah.
right? You're in work for a further 8.
Depending though, because sometimes if you're stressed, you won't sleep 8 hours.
But I'm just saying, like, just let's break this down into, like, you do sleep for 8 hours.
Okay.
So there's a third of the day gone. If you're in work, there's another third of your day gone.
Yeah.
You're commuting, say 2 hours, there's 18 hours. So you have roughly 6 hours where you're not
You're just by
in
yourself.
work or
Yeah.
you're not asleep.
And in that time, you'd be having your dinner and you'd be trying to relax at the end of the night.
Exactly. So by the time you've actually done that, if you break this down, 24 hours over 7 days is about 3.5 hours a day of
Yeah.
stress. So half the time you're supposed to be relaxing. If you're not using your stressed hours in work,
Yeah.
then you're having basically 3 stress-free hours a day
Good for you.
out of 24. But obviously that is, personally I think if I was to feel stressed for 24 full hours, it would all be in work.
Yeah.
Because I know that on the way home, I turn my music up loud and just,
Forget about it.
yeah, I just chill out on the way home.
Well, see, that's what
And obviously pay very close attention to the road, be safe driver. But obviously.
Okay. Well, not whenever I'm in the car. Like. But no, I would agree with that. Like, I've always said about just whenever you're in work, just leave things in work.
Yeah.
Whenever you've left it, that's it.
Yeah.
Your day is yours. The rest of the day is yours, and you can just do whatever you want.
Yep.
But don't even have to worry about anything else.
Exactly. I used to have a manager that used to say, any problems in work, leave them at the door on the way out.
Yep.
Any problems on the way outside of work on the way into work, leave them at the door on the
Yep.
way in, and then you can just pick them up in and out, almost like a suitcase.
Yep.
You know, I just thought that was a really nice analogy. But then there's people that can't. It's easier said than done.
100%.
Obviously.
100% it is. Yeah.
But like, you know, I just thought that was quite a nice sort of way of going. Okay, work problems here,
Yeah.
outside problems here.
But that's what obviously comes down to having a good, like a job you actually like. Because then
Yes.
there's no real reason of you going into work and being like, this is crap, I can't
Yeah.
be bothered with this. And then surely whenever you leave work, you're looking forward to seeing your partner, or you're looking forward to doing something
dog.
else, or your dog, or your
No.
no cats. But yeah, surely God, you're looking forward to seeing them or doing something
Yeah.
else. So surely your mind would be completely off that subject. Because
Yeah.
mine would be.
I don't really think about work at home. I'll be honest.
I wouldn't think.
I
there's
have a
much point.
I have a big split. You know, like I've
My
noticed.
personality.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Shut up.
no. What do you call it?
What did you
Like I've sort of noticed that. Yeah, like you might come home and have. I'm sure you've heard it, countless times. Where you come home on the Xbox and you have your wee. Guess what happened at work today?
Yeah.
And you have your wee. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
But then 20 minutes later, you're like, oh, okay, that's done. Don't care. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
As I say, I leave work about 5:20 roughly every day, 9 hours after I get in. Oh. But
yeah, it's not nice if you think about it.
no, but
When you break down each hour, you're like, geez, that's 9 of my. Like, that's just not
that's
nice.
so long.
Yeah,
And then
it
it's
makes you feel stressed thinking about it.
an hour and a half travel, 10.5 hours.
But traveling's not too bad. It's
No, 'cause-
traveling home would be the better one. Obviously.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like on the way up though as well because I listen to either a podcast or music.
Yeah.
So, I listen to something that keeps me awake on the way up, because I
thankfully
don't drink my coffee until I get into work.
Yeah.
So on the way up, like, I listen to. There's a really good one about the World Cup at the minute I'm listening to. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really good.
The World Cup's an absolute mess in a minute, so I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
No, but
do you realise as well, we released a podcast the day after Germany went out? How much of a like amazing story that would have been. Yeah, I know. If Germany was actually still out, well, just went out whenever we were recording it. That would have blew my mind. I'd have been talking about that for the majority of the podcast, but
oh well.
I know. So it's done. It is what it is. It's done now. Like.
Exactly.
I just couldn't believe it.
But did you find stuff about the causes?
Well, I find like how to sort of
get rid
deal
of
with it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's not really. But
causes are just so obvious. I think.
I want to see like right. So you said earlier on about like lack of support and stuff, right? That can go from obviously in the workplace. That could be just your co-workers or your
friends,
manager or whatever, right? But see, outside of work, right? I find this thing on Anxiety UK, right?
Mm-hmm. And this is like an actual charity website or something.
Yeah, this. Yeah, well, it's some sort of
support website.
Support with it's like a therapy sort of thing, but so that's outside of work. This is your help. This is your support outside of work, right?
Yeah.
So it says here, right? So the DIY self diagnosis. So this is just basically how can you diagnose yourself of stress or whatever, right? So there's loads here. I'm going to say a few. Like obviously, it's like overeating.
Okay.
And then there's excessive drinking of alcohol or whatever. Maybe you lose your appetite, or if you smoke, you would smoke more. Drink more coffee. Blah 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 blah. You would apparently take drugs because you're stressed. That would be maybe you do.
Does coffee count?
Well, caffeine, I suppose it would be. Yeah.
Because I would. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting at work being like, "My God, I need a line." But like,
what, like a washing line, you mean? No.
For the record, I've never done that.
Yeah. Anyway. A washing line? No. But it says here like increased and suppressed anger, which I suppose you would feel that in work as well as maybe outside of work or whatever. But there are like a few things, and right at the end, says stress can also cause nail biting, which I don't understand how. I mean,
I don't like nail biting.
I don't know. Well, I sometimes just if there's no nail clippers beside me, I'm just like right,
have teeth,
have to But the thing that got me right. Is they've basically self-diagnosed. This is what so if it says if you can identify 5 of these things, right?
Okay.
You have potentially stress
of what you just listed.
Of what I just listed.
Okay.
They're only a couple as well. Like,
right. So there's a whole big.
There's
thing.
loads. Yeah. Like if you can't make any decisions, large or small, that's a big factor apparently as well. Can't concentrate.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're just
Terrible.
not funny. Just not
Terrible.
funny. Excessive emotion and crying at smaller rotations. That'll be me right now, yeah. But yeah, so these are all the things that could potentially make you stress, right? Or this is how you would diagnose yourself, right?
Okay.
But then after that, it goes, how can we help, right? It goes, well, becoming a member of Anxiety UK for just £30 a year. Like, I know £30 a year isn't an awful lot of money to some people.
Yeah.
But the majority of people that do have £30 a year to just spend on that probably aren't stressed as the amount of people that would not have the £30 a year. But this right. So you get things for this though, right?
But you'd hope so.
Whoa! You get things for this, so you get access to reduced cost therapies. So you're spending £30 to spend less on therapy.
Okay.
Which
are they not free anyway?
Some are free. You can just call a helpline.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense, right? And then this is another one, right? Access to a specialist email and helpline support. Can you not give that for free to someone? Does someone have to spend £30 to get an access to an email or a helpline?
Yeah.
Like, mental, right? A 1 year's free subscription to Headspace, which is worth approximately £72. So
what?
That's like another thing.
So if you spend £30, they give you something £70 for free. But then
£72.
But then the next year, if you spend £30 again, do you get another year free?
More than likely.
Okay, I didn't know that was just like a one-off, like 1 year.
Well, I mean, to me, if I was offering this service, which I really wouldn't ever, I'd be like, well, yeah, if you pay £30, then you get a year. But then again, you might be right there. You might just get 1 year free subscription, and then that's it.
What was that? Sorry,
so you get
£72.
Yeah, a year subscription to Headspace.
What is that?
I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
Is it like
It's Headspace
is it like a
obviously-
magazine or something?
It must be some sort of like mental health magazine, but even still, £72 for that for a year subscription to it. Strange. Subscription to Anxious Times magazine worth £12 annually.
So that is a magazine, yeah.
That's a magazine. Access to our members area and other free online resources.
Other what's that?
Other free online resources. Yeah.
Interesting.
So you have to pay to get free online resources apparently. So that's another great thing to do. By all means, we're plugging this. This is fantastic. By all means, sponsor us, please. Access to our exclusive members online only message boards. So if you don't have no internet at home and you go to a library to go and get stuff, then obviously there's no point in spending £30 anyway. But I mean that would be your only access to go and get that really.
You get 2 magazines.
Well, Headspace, I don't know what that is.
I'm assuming that's a magazine because a subscription tends to be you get it.
£72 though.
It must be £6 a month or something. It might be a really good magazine, but
maybe so. But I'd rather just go and spend that on the magazine. That might help me than spend £30 here that you're going to be getting all the free stuff that you would get normally, and then
I personally don't understand. The thing that confuses me is like the number one cause of stress is money.
Yeah, and you're literally spending money. This is why why you get a free copy of Understanding Anxiety booklet worth £4. So, I mean, they're basically just going, well, basically what you said there was the main reason of stress is because you're spending too much money. So they're saying here is like, well, here's £30 you can spend and we're going to save you all this money.
Yeah.
Which I would assume to someone that is under stress would be like, well, that's not a bad idea actually. But there's things down here like 10% off a listening book membership, which is normally between £20 and £45 a year. So they don't even know themselves, but there you go. And then right at the end it says here as well, a total value of more than £90 annually. So you pay £30 a year.
I suppose you may not want some of it, but I get where they're coming from in terms of we're giving you this stuff for you to use if you want, but for me, I think it should be free. Yeah. NHS is free. Yeah. This is UK, Anxiety UK, and you're being told it must
to
be
pay.
A charity, and maybe that's how they make their money or
if
something.
If it is, then I do apologise, but I mean, at the same time, like, there are charities out there that don't get any money.
I know for sure that, like, whenever I had a job that paid next to nothing, same place actually with the guy who sort of bullied people, it was legitimately probably the most stressful job I've ever had in terms of decisions because.
But would that be because of the actual like?
No, it was it was money. It was because of money.
So it wasn't the actual job itself, then, or the line of work.
And like in terms of if somebody had been like, here, do you want to spend? Was it £30 a year? Do you want to spend £30 and we'll give you this stuff that might help you with stress? I don't think I'd have been interested.
No, and I'd rather go on the online help support somewhere that's free.
Yeah, I mean, I think because I was earning so little, in my opinion, I should say, it was a struggle getting from month to month, you know.
Yeah.
But then I had to make some choices. But literally had to be like, okay, well, you know what? I may be being a bit harsh, but because I still had a car, you know, and things like that. Yeah. But I had to make the choice to get rid of that car.
Yeah.
And get a cheaper one, and so on and so forth. I did basically, but yeah, basically, excuse me. Where I'm going with this is basically, if somebody had said to me, you know, do you have a spare £30? Nope.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was down.
Well, that's like if you have obviously your bills and stuff to pay as well, then
yeah,
I would say you'd probably rather spend £30 on your next meal than £30 on something that's gonna
£30 in a shop. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
But like, the fun, I don't know. This is so far reaching. We are gonna miss out so much.
We always do though, but there's not enough time in the day to even talk about this. I don't think.
Exactly.
You would need like a week or a month or something to even
exactly
try and get under the nitty gritty. Like really.
Exactly. But like the thing as well, is there's actually a lot of like new terms I learned going through this. The presenteeism is one of my favorites.
Right.
Remember we were discussing it just before.
Yeah.
So presenteeism is essentially when you go into work, even when you're not well.
Yeah.
So if you're not well, you still show up and you still do whatever you try and do.
Yeah.
So from 2010 2018, it's jumped from 26% of people doing it in 2010 to 86% of people doing it in 2018 because they're that concerned about missing a day or missing something, or the fact that, you know, oh, people will think this, you know how it is whenever that sort of thing happens. But basically,
I just tend not to care what other people think.
well, no, I mean, it's crazy because I have to admit I suffer from that.
Yeah.
You know, I remember around Christmas time, maybe before Christmas actually.
But then again, that's a quite stressful time of year as well, though.
But I tend to get a cold every year.
Yeah.
I think, you know what, we have one at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was actually just before we could get releasing this because we kept on trying to do an episode and I was like, I can't, I'm sick.
Yeah.
But like legitimately, I was in work the entire time. Whenever I probably really should have had a week off.
Yeah.
Because I was not well.
Yeah.
There was a point I always wore a scarf, right?
Yeah.
Big thick black scarf.
You're a hoodlum now.
And I put it up around my face.
Yeah.
So that I could still see the computer, but I was coughing into the scarf and sneezing into the scarf.
Yeah.
But obviously not like snot, I would lift the tissue, but like, you know what I mean? I'd be breathing into the scarf. But anyway, I had it round, like wrapped round. There's a point where I'd moved and it fell off fell backwards off my shoulder, and I was so unwell, and even thinking back to this, I was like, how was I not told to go home?
Yeah.
I was like trying to reach it, but I literally couldn't reach. I was like, ugh. So my boss was standing behind me, and I was like, can you put that back on my shoulder?
Oh my word.
And he literally lifted it and put it back on my shoulder.
That's insane.
Like, but it's crazy. Like, I completely understand, but also don't understand why people do it. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
Why was I there?
I don't know.
You know?
Maybe it's like a psychological thing where you're just like,
I feel guilty if I don't go in.
yeah.
So,
well, that is a big factor why people do go in. Obviously.
Yeah.
But,
because the place won't close if I'm not there for a week.
yeah. Exactly.
You know, so
and your position will still be there. I mean, you're allowed to be sick.
Exactly. But
Like,
the thing
it's in
is,
the
I get so much, I get concerned. Concerned. Yeah, well, yeah, I do get concerned if I'm off. I'm like, well, I've had one sick
But
day.
the work though, when you come back, you mean?
Yeah, because then I come back and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so like. See, whenever I come back from holiday, there was 400 plus emails in my inbox.
Yeah.
And people have actually been going through them as well. So, and that's only my inbox. It doesn't include the other folders that we're getting emails put into them by a rule.
Yeah.
But like, whenever you come back to that, like, that's holiday. I didn't care whenever I come back from holiday because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Whereas whenever I was sick,
it overwhelming whenever you got into it then? Or were you expecting that amount?
To be honest, sort of, because some things sort of slipped through the cracks that should have been caught by people and it wasn't, and then I've had to sort of pick it up and so on and so forth. Like, yeah, I won't bore you. But basically,
no,
it's
please
just
don't.
I won't. But, there's another ism that I think is quite good, called leaveism.
Leaveism.
Yeah, leaveism.
That's to do with annual leave, I would assume.
Yep.
Right.
So basically, it's when you've booked a holiday and you come in and work anyway. My boss does it all the time. He would book a day off.
What?
He would book a day off. I kid you not.
Do you get paid? Hang on.
So you get your holiday. You don't get paid double. You just get your holiday. So he would come in, and he would work. Say for example, he'd take a day off, and then he would come in, and I'd see him. I'm in at work. I'd say 20:08, and then I would go in. You know, unlock the doors, alarm off. I'm the first in. But there's some days whenever I go in and he'd be like, oh, I'm only going to come in for an hour, and he's there until like midday, and you're like, dude, you've been here for like 3 hours, go home and enjoy your day off. You know, this is the first time in my boss is going to be off for 2 weeks. This is the first time in 6 years he's taken a 2-week holiday.
Why?
I don't know.
Should have asked him.
Somebody did, but he didn't really have an answer. He was just sort of like, oh, well, you know, summers are always really busy in here and blah, blah.
I mean, I do get some people do have, like, they just have a work thing that's in them. They just they just thrive off working every single day, and sometimes you don't notice 6 years going by. I
No,
don't know.
genuinely, that's one thing I said to him before I left. I was like, enjoy this. Like,
Yeah.
turn your emails off. We have got it.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fine. And no, well. And I think he's starting to really get that he just needs it. The reason I brought up these isms, the presenteeism and leaveism, is that presenteeism and leaveism are directly correlated with stress-related work absences. So the fact that these are way up, if you watch the correlation, you can't see the graph, but if you look at the correlation, they literally all follow each other up.
That's crazy.
So as it goes up, so does being off.
That would make sense.
And I'm not talking like days off. I'm talking long-term sick, like months, due to stress. You do hear people off on stress.
Yeah.
More often, certainly now, than whenever, maybe 10 years ago. Well, according to this, it's 8 years ago, so that sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
So essentially, just to give you some stats, because there are some percentages and stuff here, 10% of companies are taking action on presenteeism by saying go home, you're not well.
Yeah.
So 90% aren't.
So they're actually doing something about it.
Only 10%, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is poor.
Very.
Leaveism is 58% are saying go home when you're on holiday. So 42% are okay with them coming in and basically taking a holiday but not actually going on holiday.
Yeah, but that's sort of okay. But 90% are okay with people coming in when they're sick.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Which I always find it really weird though when people do that, because when I had that cold, I could have infected everyone.
100%, yeah.
And then everyone else could have been like, I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
I know how bad it was though. I don't mean the cold. I mean the fact that I was there. I was actually using
like a mouse and keyboard and stuff as well.
But every time that I would like sneeze, I would use hand sanitizer to make sure I wasn't trying to make other people sick.
Yeah.
But it made no sense.
No.
Because I was still there, breathing, 4 feet away from someone. It just, thinking back, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, crazy.
Yeah, it is stupid. That's the only word for it.
Yeah. Like, no, legitimately, like, it doesn't make sense why I did it. And it's not like, as I say, as we always say, actually, it's not like you get any sort of, oh, great, that's, thank you so much for doing that, blah, blah, blah. You don't get that.
Yeah. But then again, right, what about people with like chronic illnesses as well?
What do you mean?
Well,
like, do you mean like Crohn's and things like that? Or do you mean like...
Well, yeah. Just like like people that have like, I don't know, like a heart condition, heart palpitations, or what whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like stress can make, your heart go absolutely nuts.
Yes.
And then
it does.
yeah, that's what happens. And then you can go into work and then be like
pumping that cortisol all over you.
Yeah, well, that just sounds dreadful. You go into work and then you could be like, because obviously it's going to be written down. This you have this problem.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like, well, I can't actually work today because I am ridiculously stressed, so I have to go home, otherwise my heart's going to explode. But sure, there comes to a point where you can't do that anymore.
See,
do you know what I mean?
It's not that I disagree. It's that, and it's something that it's actually in a lot of Darren Brown's things that he always sort of says.
I watched things the other day, Miracle. I watched.
What do you think?
Oh, it's brilliant. I've seen it before.
Really good. Oh, have you? Yeah, it's good. But it's one of those things that like you don't know what anybody else's situation is because everybody sees their own world as the most important thing. You know?
I understand
so
that.
It's hard for somebody to go, well, no, you can't do that anymore. You'd be like, well, why not? I literally can't do this. Like, if someone goes off and long-term sick, then you know what's sort of the equivalent of? A woman getting pregnant, going on leave, coming back, oh god, I'm pregnant again, and then going off and then come back, oh, I'm having a third child, and I'm 3 years off work and you have to pay them.
Yeah, I understand that.
So,
but at the same time, surely to God, there's something in the business, something in the company's thing that goes, well, do you know what? We've got an employee here that comes in and doesn't work. He just comes in, or he or she comes in to show her face or his face, and then goes home after like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then whilst they're at home, either books off the entire week because they're that ill,
Yeah.
And then it's like, because that means like to me that would mean people who are on benefits, right, who are jobless, right,
Mm-hmm.
who could do those hours, could do that work,
Yeah.
are out of a job because someone else has said problem and can't do said thing because,
Yeah.
if that's the case, you sign on the benefits because you can't actually do the work. You
And then
can.
we'll see how quickly they can do the work. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you genuinely do feel that bad you can't do the work, get out of the job, go on the benefits, because at the end of the day, benefits will probably pay you more anyway for actually doing nothing.
Well,
That's the thing.
It's so hard though to be able to say to somebody like what you're feeling isn't.
Not for me, it's not.
No, but I mean, like, if somebody was to say to you, like, what you're saying to me right now, it doesn't matter.
What, it doesn't matter? That's the thing.
But that's the thing. But like, if it does to you, you'd be like, well, it does. And they'd be like, well, it doesn't though.
Yeah, but it's a complete
You know,
contradiction of the argument. Like, you could just be like, well, people can have different opinions, and either way, they're not going to agree anyway. At the end of the day.
And then legally, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, legally, it's a whole rigmarole.
Yeah, so
but
it's like almost impossible to sack someone.
But that's why I'm saying there's bound to be something you could do with that, because if I personally, if I had my own business, right, and I wouldn't discriminate at all with employing people.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to actually having these employees, and then say if you genuinely needed them into this position or whatever they're in, and they come in and they can't do the job, then what are you supposed to do?
See, for me, then where that should be called is the interview stage, because most jobs, in fact, every job I've applied for, ask how many sick days have you had. So I'm pretty sure if I'd said to them,
But then what if they lie?
Oh yeah, there's like you'll get a record surely from the other place. Like, you have to get them called up, and you have to, like, say, for example, whenever I moved to where I am now, the recruiter, I went through a recruitment agency for where I am now, because my last job, it was basically just I was done, and then moved on, went with them. They found me something they thought would fit, and here we are. But basically, when they rang my reference, which was one of my old bosses, because the last place I worked didn't have someone that could do that. What they asked for my old place was proof of how long I've worked there, sick days, and
holidays.
No, start date, end date, and sick days.
Oh, okay.
And then whenever she spoke to my old boss, same question: start date, end date, holidays. What's he like as a person? Because my old boss could be, objective and say, really nice guy, I'd take him back in a heartbeat, blah, but something like that is what he said. Very kind, Michael. But basically,
he lied. Though.
Yeah, thank you for lying. But but yeah, like, they will find out. Like, you can't say you haven't been sick, and you won't. But
there's people out there that don't, for some reason, they don't get caught.
But then it's some people where they just move internally. They just move internally and can't get caught.
I just hate people that do that. Hate them.
It's funny that, obviously we've focused a lot on jobs, but it is directly linked with money, which is directly linked to pretty much everything else.
It's money and jobs are the main causes of stress, I would say.
I found, and I promise this is my last one, but this is like another survey, and this is the Mental Health Foundation 2018 results. Okay. So it was sent out to 4,619 people, so 100 times less than the NHS.
Right.
But it's a bit different in the way it's laid out. So 74% of people that were surveyed felt so stressed in the last year that they've been overwhelmed or just unable to cope with anything at all. Just with
outside of work as well.
Just in general, yeah.
That's
this
crazy.
is in general.
74%.
74% of the nearly 5,000 people. And it's sort of what I find really interesting is this, right? So this particular part is about age difference. So all of those people, and they're all different ages, genders, races. One of those completely religious, everything. Just everyone just do this. So 30% of older people reported never feeling overwhelmed or unable to cope in the past year. Only 7% of young adults felt the same, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes down to older people don't work.
Yeah.
It just links back to the entire last 43 minutes. So then you spoke earlier about like food and stuff and eating and whatever.
Yeah.
This touches on this as well. 46% of those in this survey reported they ate too much or ate unhealthily due to stress.
Also eating too little as well, because you can
Yep.
lose your appetite too.
Exactly. 29% reported they started or increased their drinking.
Yeah.
And 16% reported that they'd started
Smoking.
or spoken.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. The weird thing about that is, right, because this is another thing, right, because whenever people do start smoking,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously whenever they stop smoking, they start smoking sometimes because they're stressed, and then whenever they want to stop. No, I agree.
Exactly.
I know you.
I made a face. I just don't get it.
No, I agree 100%. But it'd be the same thing with, say, eating as well or drinking. Like,
Yeah. Well, people would
everyone
think
have.
that. Yeah.
You know, everyone has some sort of opinion on that anyway. But smoking or drinking, if you, or even whatever else, if you
Anything harder.
decide, well, yeah, if you decide to stop that, sometimes food will take over that. Which
Yeah.
means you're stress eating because you're stressed on not smoking or stressed on not drinking. Yeah, I know you're making a circle thing here, and it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
It's such a bad. It's stress is one of the worst things.
Legitimately.
Yeah,
Legitimately.
100%.
You know, it's funny. It's actually perfectly leading into this next one. So, psychological effects
Yeah,
of stress. So 51% of adults who felt stressed reported feeling depressed.
Yeah.
61% reported feeling anxious.
Yeah.
So, you know,
well, that's why the
if
whole
you think
anxiety
back to all the
UK thing we're
stats,
on.
exactly, and if you think back to all the stats from our episode on mental health,
Yeah,
you know,
it's mental.
yeah,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
pun intended.
Yeah.
Of the people who said they'd felt stress at some point in their lives, this is scary. This honestly is. 16% had self-harmed, and
It's
30
a lot of people.
a lot, and 32% said they'd had suicidal thoughts or feelings.
You just add them together anyway, because it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
It can
it's almost half.
The self harming can lead to the
Yeah.
32%.
Well, 16% had actually done something. As in like cut themselves, hurt themselves, punch something, headbutt,
Yeah.
hurt themselves in some way, shape, or form.
And then just
32
thought
thought of just let's just end it and do it.
that's just true. That's
Crazy. Really, really high numbers. They're really sad numbers. 37% of adults who reported feeling stress reported feeling lonely as a result.
See, I did try earlier on to try and get things in Northern Ireland, but it just Google was just
Yeah.
not having it. Like,
No.
it had statistics about certain things, how what stress caused, like heart disease and all
Yeah.
this sort of stuff, but it didn't have anything about what happens, the causes of stress, and then the stuff
Yeah, like
how it
the
happens
statistics
after,
for
basically.
here, I could imagine, and this is only a guesstimate based on
What we've
our
read.
mental health episode.
Okay.
Is that we're far worse off here than the rest of the UK.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if our stats here, unless this includes, but I always assume UK and these mean mainland UK and for some reason ignore us. But
Yeah, I would get that.
But like I would guess that ours would be worse.
Because of this lack of support
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree.
And I mean, you had a whole whack of causes, didn't you?
Not causes, no.
Oh, remedies, good, because that links in perfectly. I was going to be like, oh, I have causes here
Well,
too.
I mean, I've got
But, like-
remedies, but I mean, it is literally just what you would think. I mean, there's like exercise, which people really don't do enough. I certainly don't do enough. But I mean, exercise also means that your sleep's going to improve, which means you're going to have obviously, hopefully 8 hours or 9 hours of sleep, which is incredible. Can release hormones and stuff as well, and obviously, if you do exercise for some reason, it gives you some sort of confidence because you've actually ran.
Maybe
Or
because
you
you feel you look better. Isn't
yeah,
it?
well, that's the thing. Physicality. Yeah. There's I wouldn't agree with this one. It says consider supplements, right?
Something like vitamin B.
To me, that would mean, but yeah, basically that's like basically use vitamins or pills basically to help yourself. But then there are these other ones, obviously like green tea,
Mm-hmm.
which I would
I quite like green tea.
yeah, which is a supplement technically because it isn't.
Just tea.
Yeah, it's just tea, but
Yeah.
that's what it is.
With no milk.
Yeah, stinking.
So I learned the first time.
But green tea completely wires your stomach. Just goes
That's
and
good.
You're flushed. Yeah, no, I'm gonna start taking some because I'm gonna try and get a bit, whatever that means.
Healthier.
Yeah, whatever healthier means these days. And
Punched in the heart.
punch the heart and get absolutely ripped. No, I'm not really gonna do that. But I'm gonna try and be a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
Third one here says light a candle.
I like that. That's so simple.
It's so simple, but I mean, like we talked about this earlier on as well. Like sometimes if you're walking past something, say in your house, if your mum's got a new air freshener, even if you got an air
Yankee.
freshener for your car, yeah, even a Yankee Candle, you just get into your car, you just get into your house or get into your room. Well, not your room.
I have some candles in my room.
Yeah, but you don't like them.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Me and Rachel go out and buy a Yankee candle sometimes and have it in my room. We always have a Christmas one. We get like a wee holder and all.
See, I wouldn't mind lighting some candles, but Lauren buys candles and doesn't like them.
Why?
Oh, they're ornaments, she says.
They are not.
I would agree.
They smell great.
What I'm going to do one day is I'm going to go in your house.
Light them all.
Light them all around the house and be like, oh well. But yeah, they said like here, so like lavender rose, Roman chamomile, frankincense, sandalwood, ylang ylang, orange blossom or geranium. So
All
apparently,
nice smells.
if you want to light with some of them, then by all means go ahead.
I like lavender. Rachel doesn't, but I do.
I don't like anything like that.
No.
No, I like sandalwood. Sandalwood's nice.
Yep. I used to have body wash at Christmas. Sandalwood smelled
really?
amazing.
Well, there you go. Maybe just like wash yourself in the shower and be stress free.
And I go to work.
And then go to work, and then also it says though
Aw.
reduce your caffeine intake as well. So obviously drinking.
Oh, maybe that's not helping him work.
Yeah, probably not. Just don't drink coffee. Bring
I
in
should change it for green tea.
green tea. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Write it down. There's another one
What?
in a diary. Write it down. Write down the things that are stressing you out,
Okay.
so it gets it off your chest. Or
Okay.
in turn, we'll just talk to people.
That also, yeah.
Yeah.
That fixes so much, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. Talking completely changes everything. Like whenever we went on holiday, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
And not be able to talk for like 2 weeks, like properly about something,
Yeah.
specific. You can talk to Lauren, you can talk to your mum and dad, you can talk to whoever else. You can talk to the boys on Xbox and stuff, but it's not the same as obviously sitting down and talking about one thing. And
Yeah.
chew gum. Don't know why that would be a thing.
Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, but that's not stress. So he knows he's gonna win, so it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Spend time with family and friends is another one. Most important one I think is laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think laughing is by all means a cure for everything.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't
Makes
mean
you
it,
feel good.
if you don't mean to laugh, just laugh anyway. Because sometimes you start to do the fake laugh, and then eventually you're like, huh. And then you actually genuinely start to laugh. Yeah, and then you choke on your laughter, and then you don't know what's happening. Learn to say no.
Okay.
So this would be a job related one. So if you're
Yeah.
if you're already taking on so much work, and say your boss is like, "Would you do this?" Just no.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Can't. I'm
Yeah.
far too busy. Yeah.
Learn to avoid procrastination. So I don't know. Sometimes procrastinating can make you stress free because because if you procrastinate to do work, I know the if you procrastinate to do
I think
to do
there's
the work.
like I have to admit initially I was like, but like I think there's a difference between procrastinating and just chilling out, because procrastinating's going,
I don't want to
I've
do
got
that.
to do that report,
Yeah.
but I'll do that tomorrow, and that is my life.
Yeah.
Because
But then, like that's
you know,
that's what they're saying is like obviously if you learn to avoid it, then you would do it. Then it means once that's done, your stress levels have gone down significantly because you've already done that work.
see, I only put it off because I don't have time. You know,
Well,
if I had time, I would do it, but I can't. You see, anyway, irrelevant.
it's tough. Like, cuddling,
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
cuddling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to soothing music. See, that's not good for me.
Nothing else matters by Metallica.
Do do do. And then but yeah, like deep breathing, like just the normal things you would normally do with it. I mean,
Yeah.
the best one here is spend time with your pet as well. It's like
Yeah.
it does say pet, but dogs.
Yeah.
It says here, according to one study, dog owners reported lower levels of stress than non-dog owners. So get yourself a dog.
I don't think I've ever been with my dogs and thought I'm really not happy.
Yeah, I don't
Ever.
think. I just think for some reason, right? Dogs are just like the stress killers of everything. I actually read this thing the other day, which completely like broke my heart. Like I was like, this is awful, right? This family, right, had a dog that was dying, and there was a kid.
I know this.
Yeah,
It's really
awful.
sad, but
Now,
some
it's-
other people might not.
Yeah, it's not really like quote for quote like what he says, but basically the dog was dying, so they took him to the vet, and everyone was there, the mum, dad, and the kid, and the dog was being put down, and it was like, I think the vet asked like why, or someone asked why the dog was not
It was
live as
the-
long as
one of the parents.
oh well then why does
Why can they not live as long as everyone else?
and then the kid was like, well, they're sort of born with already love, empathy, they're born with all these
They
great
don't need to
traits.
learn.
All the humans are born and we're made to learn throughout our life, and I was like, it's horribly
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So true.
Dogs don't live as long because they already know how to love, whereas we need to learn how to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely
It's bang on.
awful. Yeah.
It was so sad though. I remember the first time I read that. I was like,
Yeah.
it's so true.
It's just not fair. I'd rather have dogs.
If I was thinking the other day, 'cause Max is now 13 and a half, and he's slowing down obviously, and I was thinking to myself the other day, if I could give you half my life,
I would do it.
I
In a
would not.
heartbeat.
I'm not being funny. I would not hesitate.
100%.
If I could have, say, if I was to live another 25 years,
Yeah.
and I could give him 12 and a half of them,
Yeah.
meaning that he could live until I died too.
Sprightly as well, though. Not
No,
like
no,
as he
yeah,
is.
no, as in like, so he wouldn't end up like, I wouldn't be like dragging him around a wheelbarrow, but like, I mean,
Maybe he'd do it with you. You never know.
if he could then like have aged to say whenever he was like 6
Yeah.
and be run about like that now,
Yeah.
and then in 12 and a half years he was like he is now,
Yeah.
and I was also gonna die, I'd be fine with that.
100%.
I think.
Yeah.
In fact, I know.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. I prefer to have dogs around me more than
Yeah,
humans.
they're
Like,
just so great.
I just think people deserve a lot less because they just waste everything, don't they? Dogs just make. I mean, you take a dog for a walk, and it's like.
This is the best.
It's like
You've
the
been
best
here a
thing
million
ever, like.
times, but it's still the best.
Exactly, but the thing is that we take Penny and stuff for walks, and she's like, she knows where she's going
Yeah.
before we're even going there. She turns the corner and she just looks back and makes sure you're still there, and then she
Yeah.
gets to the grass and you chuck the frisbee and she's just loving life.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
it's like if someone took me to the same place every single day, I'd be like, what are you doing?
It's work.
Well, no one takes you there. No one goes,
I want to go to work.
come on. But I mean, if someone actually took me like to the park every day, I'd be like, well, why?
Again.
What is this? What is the point in this? If
Yeah.
someone chucked the frisbee at me every day, I'd be like, no.
Throw it away.
I just break it in half. This is stupid.
Playing
Dogs just appreciate everything.
Yeah.
I just think it's stupid.
That's honestly like, it's just funny. I mean, we went through so many like downer points there, but it really is down to the fact that it's so funny. Like, I find that a lot of what we discuss whenever we talk about anything that could potentially relate to mental health, a lot of the root sort of,
Causes.
well, sort of more like root fixes are to like speak to your friends,
Oh, yeah.
You know-
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
talk about it, you know, pet a
The
dog.
best advice I would ever give to anybody is just accept things that you literally can't control and you can't change.
Yep.
Because once you do that, that's like half the stress gone.
Yeah, literally.
I know it's easier said than done, but literally just
You
try.
can't control it, don't worry.
Try and do it. If you can't control something, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Like being stuck in traffic, you can't move that guy in front of you.
No, but you can try.
Well,
You're just gonna, mate, just move, please. Smash his window, you run then. But I mean, yeah, it's just accept anything that literally you can't do anything about.
yeah.
Accept it and just.
Do things you enjoy. That's really important, I think. To lead a fairly stress-free life is to try and enjoy yourself. You're only here
Each
once.
day as well, not just.
Yeah, no, like not just like once a week.
Yeah, definitely not.
You know, try and do something.
Even watching like a TV show like once a night or something.
Yes.
That can completely change your day.
Community.
Well, I'll start watching it.
Watch Community.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many things you could do out there that would completely change your outlook on life, like that.
I agree.
It's just like I said, it is easier said than done. But if you just try to do it, then eventually you'll do it. Like
Yeah,
you have to,
exactly.
and it's willpower as well. But I mean, at the end of the day, everyone has a good bit of willpower. Like, don't
I read a thing a while ago. It's an interesting thing about willpower that you only have so much, and if you use it on the wrong things, eventually, as in not like, I mean every day. So like every day you go to sleep and wake up again, you have a new willpower bar. As such, if you're gonna use video game terms,
Willpower
say for
bar?
example, like my willpower, like if I was to drive to work, and somebody was to cut me off in traffic, and I'd be like, okay, don't react.
Yeah.
That would take some of my willpower. And then say I had porridge with me, and I was going to Tesco to get water
Uh-huh.
or something,
And there's no water left.
and there's Lucozade. I'm like, I'm quite tired though,
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, but I'll take water. There goes some of my willpower.
yeah.
And then say I'm walking past the tills, and I don't know, say they have they don't have this, but let's say they had like a croissant stand, and there was like £1 for 2 croissants, I was like, no, I've got porridge back at the office. I won't. There's more willpower.
Yeah.
And then, going to lunch and say I'm going to get a wee sandwich, and then there's more gone that I don't want to take a Subway, and then by the end of the day you've got next to nothing.
Yeah.
And you get home, and then your mum's like, "Do you want a Chinese?" Yeah. Just because you're done.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting theory because
it's true. It does happen.
it's sort of funny that like you make decisions throughout the day and they just sort of drain away at your ability to make decisions.
Yeah.
But like apparently there is like basically the theory stated that you will only ever have so much. So pick your decisions.
Really?
Yes. Like you can't make yourself have more willpower. You only have what you have. And I'll see if I can find it for you. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
But it was literally you only have this much. I'm doing a thing with my hands, but
No one can see.
You only have this much, and
don't try and hit the fly.
I didn't. I was waving it. Anyway,
Saying hello to the fly.
but literally, if
More of the flies.
if I've seen his crown, if you literally use your willpower on silly choices, such as I'm not gonna get mad at that person, and you just let yourself go, you ass.
Yeah.
Then you have
reserved willpower.
You've not used that willpower at all on something that really doesn't matter because they're not going to hear you.
I must waste a lot then.
But you know what I mean?
I must waste a lot on Xbox.
I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know because there's. I know what you mean because if you think
I know you do.
If you think about it, right, it's actually perfect for this because you start off playing the Xbox in Crucible or PvP, whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna get mad, and you don't for about 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden,
not even.
And then all
it's
of a
not
sudden,
even.
Okay.
It's where B gets taken. You just took B.
And then
you're
you're
like,
literally,
"No!"
and then you're like, for goodness sake! But
where's my team?
But for the whole time, you've been like, don't get mad. I'm dead. That's fine though. It's fine.
Yeah.
And you've made these decisions right up until 10 minutes in, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna explode. I can't.
So basically, we have 10 minutes of willpower. Well done, us.
Well, you know
on
what I
a
mean?
Saturday evening, we've 10 minutes of willpower throughout the day. And once we come off Crucible, we're like, no.
Not Chinese? Yeah.
The KFC, McDonald's, yes. I want everything. Do a Coke? Oh, yes, please.
But
yes,
you know,
please.
I just think that sort of goes in sort of with this. Pick your battles.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting.
Pick your battles and then you'll win the war. That's what happens.
That's it.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah. I certainly feel like I have a better handle on stress after reading that.
So do I.
If I'm
I
quite
think as
honest,
well. Yeah, I feel
after
quite
reading this thing.
relieved that. Yeah, it's nice to know the exact reasons behind it as well.
Yeah.
And now with that whole willpower thing, I'm gonna be a bit nicer on Crucible. Not.
Well, I swear, like some of those things that you were saying, I'm gonna try and do them at work. I'll see what happens.
Take green tea instead of drinking coffee.
I've actually got organic green tea in the house, and I might bring that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And yeah, a couple of other wee things you said. I'm gonna try them.
Well, I genuinely am going to try and get a bit healthier as well. So hopefully that will reduce my stress levels and hopefully help my asthma a bit more as well. So
yeah, that'll be good.
Hopefully, if I do stick to it, like if I don't stick to it, Clarky, you may punch me in the face. I'll shake on that. What?
So, nothing. I just imagine walking in being like, how many months it been? 3.
What'd you eat today?
Thanks.
I had a pizza. What? Like a slice? No. The entire thing.
And then 3 more.
What? But no, I'm genuinely going to try.
Good.
I drank enough water, like it's just wasting on me. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed that one this week.
So did I. It was good crack.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I hope you all learned something too.
Yeah, and hopefully you're stress free or even less stressed listening to all this as well.
Yeah. So we'll catch you in the next one, guys.
Bye bye.